Good day, this is Nation Voice Star. My name is Angelo, and this is that preferred YouTube channel that keeps you updated on issues pertaining to the political system in Nigeria and as it borders the masses. Thanks for joining us. There will soon be upon us the judgment day of the Supreme Court as regards the appeal of the petition or the appeal of the judgment of the Court of Appeal by Peter Gregory Obi and Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party and the Labour Party, respectively. So while the judgment is upon us, we have been prying eyes on the ground. We have been trying to check for very useful materials that could actually lead to evidences that will show that justice is on the verge of being subverted. I brought you updates about what the judgment would look like. Keep an eye on that any moment from now. To that effect, I happen to lay my hands on leaked conversations, purported or revealed, exposed, leaked conversation between Justice Emmanuel Agim and Justice John Nyang Okoro. These two judges or these two justices are part of the 7-man panel of the Supreme Court that is presiding over the appeal of Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar versus INEC and Bola Tinubu. Their conversation was revealed, and if you would really follow me up, you would notice or discover that this conversation was hinged on declaring Tinubu as duly elected president because of some funny reasons that were mentioned by especially Justice Emmanuel Agim. This is the expose I'm bringing to you right now. Now, let us start from how it all began. At the day of the hearing on Monday, Justice Agim was of the opinion that let me just give it a brief. His own part of, or his own perspective of seeing everything that day was from a perspective that whatever has happened has happened. So Tinubu is already a president and life should move on. That was all Justice Agim was pointing at from his statements, his objections, and all that. So let's look at the conversation and follow up what they said. All right. So first of all, there is a prayer of Tinubu's alleged forgery of his Chicago State University diploma, and then there is a crime against, or there is a crime allegedly of identity theft and let's say perjury. Justice Emmanuel Agim, according to our source, one of the 7-man Supreme Court justices to determine the presidential election petitions of Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party and Peter Gregory Obi of the Labour Party, told his colleagues that it is the turn, indeed, of the South to produce the presidency, and he won't be swayed by any allegations of forgery or drug crimes or narcotics against Bola Tinubu to write his own judgment. The Supreme Court judgment, of course, is scheduled any moment from now, 26th day of October, 2023. Justice Emmanuel Agim, who is from Cross River State, allegedly told Justice John Nyang Okoro, who is from Akwa Ibom State, that for equity's sake, it will be wrong to sack Tinubu and have another northerner emerge as president, arguing that the allegations against Bola Tinubu are not substantiated to warrant his removal yet. Well, that was the conversation that ensued between Justice Emmanuel Agim and Justice John Nyang Okoro. This means they will by all means affirm Bola Tinubu as president during the judgment any moment from now. Well, we would not really back down now, because I believe if we want to take back the country, the time is now. So we would not actually back down now, because we are actually at the verge of drinking from the river. We are at the riverbank already, so we can't go back. All right. That is that on that particular update. I just hope that the other 3 judges that are said to be looking at the cross or looking in line with the constitution would not back down. Let's see how they could drag, or they could make, or what they could make from their own judgments over time. Now I want to delve straight into a matter of importance. Dr. Franklin Ngu. Dr. Franklin Ngu is the Director, Public Sector Initiative, Lagos Business School. As a scholar, he feels that the government, both federal and state, should take the issues of poverty and low standard of living very seriously. The doctor, Dr. Franklin, feels so much that Nigeria is retrogressing instead of making progress. Please stay tuned for Dr. Franklin Nungu, the Director, Public Sector Initiative, Lagos Business School.
Will I say there are little outliers here and there, but cumulatively, we haven't done well. So a good way to look at it is issue of poverty, for example. We are told that we now have close to 140 million Nigerians described as multidimensionally poor. So it means that we are retrogressing exponentially. We're also told that unemployment is going up. Inflation today is very high. During the NSG summit, somebody was saying that we are not even understanding the deepness of the issues. So for instance, if you are a manufacturing firm, you borrow at 20-something%. Inflation is at 20-something%. So you need to put all these costs before you now understand the real cost of operation. And at the end of the day, by December, from what is going on, some of them are going to lay off because they're going to say, next year, how will I succeed? How will I grow? How do I do this? So even though we are having, maybe I have internet now on my phone, maybe I have internet now in my village, maybe you have internet now, those are even if you don't do anything, part of human resilience to survive will definitely enable some of those little progresses. I mean, the government are they doing what they are supposed to do? Yes, they are trying in certain areas, but we expect them to take it more serious because we are in a very precarious situation, Charles. Okay, well, of course, you know, Charles, that the 17 development goals, they didn't prepare it only for Nigeria. They prepared it for the whole global economy.
But obviously you have to look at the world from where you're standing,
exactly.
not from where someone else is
standing. What is important is that if there are 17 factors, what you can do is to say, okay, I'm going to prioritize and say, we're going to focus on hunger, poverty, women inclusion, this. So even at the end of the year, or 5 years or 3 years, you can say, I haven't achieved all of them, but I've achieved at least 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's left for Nigeria to prioritize. It's not for us to say, oh, there are so many of them.
Right.
But what they are even saying that we haven't met any of the conditions necessary for the achievement of any of the sustainable development goals.
So you haven't actually got on the track.
Not at
yet.
all. So if, for instance, now we've said, oh, in the last 8 years, poverty has reduced, we can clap and say we haven't achieved it, but you can see that we are reducing poverty. You can see what India has done. You can see what Bangladesh is doing, what developing and emerging economies are doing. So that's what we are saying. In our unemployment, you can say, okay, it has gone down. I mean, I don't want to talk about what Nigerian developers say that the unemployment is now XYZ as the case may be, but we know what the unemployment is all about. So what I'm trying to say is that even though there are many, but we can some of them are looking at us directly and saying, what are you guys doing about this? So it's not really about blaming UN or saying that there's so many. Let's even focus on the ones that concern us directly, like inflation, unemployment, poverty, housing, women inclusion, child labor. All those things are public knowledge.
Right.
All right, welcome back. This is still Nation Voice Tower, your most preferred YouTube channel. That was Dr. Franklin Nungu. His points were well and duly noted in that interview because he's actually an expert in his field, and when it comes to poverty alleviation and the raising the standard of living, it's something that is not supposed to be debatable by the federal government because right from time immemorial or right from I think the last regime of President Muhammadu Buhari, his 8 years, Nigerians have been clamoring for a better life. And he shouldn't actually think twice before putting the better lives of Nigerians into consideration. When I say he, I mean Bola Tinubu. If at all he is going to continue, if at all the Supreme Court will illegitimately legitimize his presidency. Finally, this is good news. Of course, you would always remember that the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Abdulrashid Bawa, has been in custody for a very long while now. Let's say over 115 days, if not 120 days. To that effect, it is now a thing of joy and excitement to announce that the former chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Abdulrashid Bawa, has been released from the custody of the Department of State Security Service. This is good news for his family. This is also good news for members of the security agency who actually had their hands on this case. All right. I believe with the freedom Abdulrashid Bawa has now, he can fight for his innocence if he was actually innocent, or better still, keep his peace if he was guilty. This is what we would follow up to over the time being. Please watch a brief video about Abdulrashid Bawa's homecoming while he was welcomed by his family, both far and near, both distant and close, all right, both nuclear and extended, children and old men alike. It was a very, very happy sight to behold. Please stay tuned. Okay, you've watched the video there, and happy family for them to see their own father, brother, cousin, and uncle coming back from the custody of the Department of State Security. This goes further to explain how, let's say, very cruel the Bola Tinubu government seems to be. Right? We wouldn't talk much on that. Thank you so much for staying with us. Once more, I would say kudos to Abdulrashid Bawa for actually finally walking out of custody, not in his own accord. Though we don't know the deal he had with the people involved, but for him to be out is a relief for almost everyone that is close to him, especially his family members. So it's a nice one for them to really get happy once more for seeing their father, brother, and uncle. Thank you so much for staying with us. I would urge you to like our videos, share them. Don't forget to drop a comment for us in the comment section. If you're watching me for the first time, tap the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that when I drop a new update, you will be amongst the first group of people to know. See you next time. Bye.